Christ in me sees the Christ in you. Everyone's a chosen one, the many and the few. All together now it takes two. The Christ in me and the Christ in you. To know love is to be loved, and I know love will stay alive. If the Christ in me sees the Christ in you, everyone's a chosen one, the many and the few. All together now it takes two. The Christ in me and the Christ in you. If my friend feels sad or broken, every time that my heart opens, love makes its way into the world. When the Christ in me sees the Christ in you, everyone's a chosen one, the many and the few. All together now it takes two. The Christ in me and the Christ in you. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I can do all things, sees the Christ who is my strength. I can do all things, sees the Christ who is my strength.
I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God is the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all and all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God. I stand before you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I want you to do is command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation.
When it's late December, dark and cold, where is the light? When old man here is bending low, where is the light? When the sun runs off to bed too soon, where is the light? And there's nothing but a skinny moon, where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. When it's dark each morning when I rise, where is the light? And it's dark out when my eggs are fried. Where is the light? When it's dark when off to work I go, where is the light? And it's dark again when I get home. Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Yes, it's in my skin, it's in my bones, in my heart, in my soul. The light of light is bright and golden like a summer's day. When the sun goes missing in the sky, it's still rising in my eyes, chasing all that winter gloom away. So I'm burning bright like kerosene. Where is the light? And I'm twinkling like the Pleiades. Where is the light? And I'm dancing like a candle flame. Where is the light? I'm flaming like a fruit flambe. Where is the light? I gotta know now. Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. I say that. Where is the light? Where is the light, child? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. That's why I say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Sing it if you know it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Sing it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Motor City. I almost say the name of my old center. Well, I got to put up a sign here that reminds me that my center is the Motor City Spiritual Center in the greater Detroit area. Still not in person, and COVID and the Omicron variant are insane here in Michigan. Everybody is being so careful, and yet a lot of people are still getting sick. I know that in California as well, that many people who are planning to attend the Centers for Spiritual Living convention in Southern California have had to cancel. And I even know that several members of the music team have had to cancel because of COVID and are recovering from COVID. So my prayers go out to everybody who is traveling anywhere this week. Be careful. And let's start our day with an opening spiritual mind treatment, which is the affirmative prayer that we teach and use in the science of mind, religious science. I'm going to put up some music here. This is beautiful piano music written by my friend and music ministry colleague, the Reverend Donna Michael, who I know is watching service this morning. So let me go ahead and start this. There it is. Donna's beautiful solo piano piece, Sacred Silence. I invite us all, I invite you wherever you are right now, unless you're driving in the car. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes, take a breath. And let's know this truth together, that there is, in fact, one life. That life is God. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now, and the life of each of us who are watching this service live or watching later during the week or whenever, because as Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, religious science, teaches us that there is no time or space in the process or the result of affirmative prayer. Everything is energy. God is all there is. We live in a universe where what we think and what we believe has a direct influence on what we experience. And so right now, in this moment, I simply take this time to consciously bless each of us and the time that we spend together, whenever that time is. I simply know and affirm for each of us that all is well, and that life is good, and that we are good in it. I bless everyone who is under the influence of the major winter storm as it makes its way across this nation, wherever you are, knowing that you are, in fact, held in the hands of God, held in the hands of grace, of spiritual divine intelligence and wisdom, that you are protected. And wherever we may be, I know that whatever our current interaction with biological microorganisms is, that we are safe and well. I simply take the time to consciously bless us and release this blessing into the action of spirit, the universe, intelligence, whatever you want to call it. It's that divine metaphysical action and reaction. And as I think and speak my affirmative prayer into the action of the divine with gratitude, I know that my blessing is made manifest in this moment for each of us. And since I know that all is well, I let it be and I let it go. And as I release this blessing into the action of law and let it be and know that it is done, together we can affirm this blessing by saying, and so it is, and so it is. I want to remind you that here at the Motor City Spiritual Center, our vision and mission is simply to love and grow and awaken. And that is the path of the work that I am constantly studying and teaching, to open myself up to more love, to grow in that love. And hopefully that action of loving and growing awakens within me a greater understanding of my relationship with spirit, my relationship with the universal construct of life and love, peace, wisdom, intelligence. So it's the 16th of January, and this has been a busy week here in the United States with the pandemic, our government, things going on in our nation. I've worked really hard this week to just stay centered in the understanding that any time I spend in regret is in the past, and any time I spend in fear is the future, and just do my best to stay in the now. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. January 16th, we're going to be talking about staying in the now. The time is now. But right now, I want us to go to our Ho'oponopono prayer of reconciliation and release. The Ho'oponopono prayer, which comes from the Polynesian tradition and comes to us through our Hawaiian state. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Some people think it's something that you have to say to another person. I like to use it just for myself. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I know, and I bring up every week, that Ralph Waldo Emerson reminds us to finish every day and be done with it. We've done what we could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept into our day. Forget them as soon as we can. Tomorrow is a new day. And the way that I do that is by using the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Why don't you say that with me right now? I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Let's say it one more time. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Karen Drucker has a beautiful chant that goes along with this. Let's listen. Let's just take 2 minutes to meditate on the Ho'oponopono prayer as Karen Drucker sings to us.
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you,
Mahalo,
I love you.
aloha, vau ya
I'm
oe.
sorry, Please forgive me. Thank you.
Mahalo Yahweh.
I love you.
Aloha Yahweh.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Dr. Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of religious science, the science of mind, he wrote many wonderful, in addition to his books, he also wrote many, wonderful affirmations, articles, and one of them, which we lovingly refer to as the promises, is something that we use on a weekly basis as an opportunity to affirm our relationship to the day. Let's say this together. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy. With the realization of its limitless possibilities, I assure my soul. Let's assure our souls right now by singing my song, I Remember Who I Am. One, two, three.
I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. We are life. We are light. We are love. We are joy, we are peace, we are wisdom, and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. Pure spirit, and who we are is pure spirit, and who we are is pure spirit.
The science of mind is a faith, a philosophy, and a way of life. And Dr. Ernest Holmes, started publishing a magazine right at the beginning of the time that it started to be organized as a religion, back in the 1920s. He published a magazine then called The Religious Science Monthly. Here's the cover of the first issue, December 1927. You know, you can find all of the issues of Science of Mind magazine in all of its forms, as well as all of the issues of Creative Thought magazine at the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, which you can find online, scienceofmindarchives.org. Dr. Holmes originally published this as What We Believe. There's the inside back cover. We use a part of it this declaration of principle as our community affirmation on a weekly basis. Let's say this together. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I want to remind you that the Motor City Spiritual Center is a radically inclusive and mindfully non-racist and non-sexist spiritual community. All are lovingly welcomed here. Our affirmation for this week is, I am here and conscious right now. I am here and conscious right now. And let's do our flames of faith. We perform this ceremony on Sundays to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. And we light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of any loved ones, knowing that they have had the experience of Spirit's eternal love. Yes. So let's do a little bit of healing treatment. This is specifically today for our nation, for ourselves, for anybody we know that's going through a medical, spiritual, or emotional challenge. I know several people who, as I said, are recovering from COVID. No matter how careful they seem to be, they still got COVID this week, and that was a surprise. So let's just take this moment to know that there is, in fact, one life. That life is God. That life is my life and the life of each of us who are gathered here, consciously aligning ourselves with the divine. That life is unfolding perfectly, and it is also revealing perfect health, perfect well-being for each and every person listening, participating. I simply know that all is well, that each of us is finding that divine healing, intelligence, and wisdom is expressing itself through us in this moment, that we are, in fact, aligned consciously with the one power greater than we are, which is living itself and expressing itself and evolving itself through us and as us in this moment and in every moment. Knowing this is the truth of who we are, and in gratitude, I release this word into the action of the law, allowing it to be made manifest in this moment perfectly. And as it does so, I release it, I let it be, I know that it is done, and as I release it into the action of law, together we affirm this blessing by saying, And so it is. And so it is. I have a video for you this morning from my friend Laura Berman. She performed this very recently at Mile High Church in Denver. Let's listen to Laura Berman.
I'm coming out of this long night's journey into the day, and I'm not afraid anymore to look in the mirror and wipe all the tears off my face, and sadness fades. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. Too many years I spent putting square pegs in circular holes, and I didn't know myself. But why would I come here to live a life stuck in a mold and be bought and sold? Well, I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I am ready. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. The I am. I am 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 the I am. There's no greater feeling than loving myself, body and soul, and the pain, it just goes away. I am out in a new world as a creation, perfect and whole. I am in loving flow. I am the I am. 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 I am the I am.
Love Laura Berman. We're good friends. I'm going to have her on here soon to come and sing live for you. And she just did that recently at Mile High. And she sings, I'm coming out of this long night's journey into the day, and I'm not afraid anymore. Too many years I spent putting square pegs in circular holes. I didn't know myself. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am. Everything that I am. I am the I am. Wow. Do you ever feel like life is passing you by? Are you ready to be everything that you came here to be? Are you recognizing I am the I am? Wow. She just opens her mouth and God just pours out. She just cracks your heart wide open when she writes and when she sings. What if there's a way to get into the flow or get back in the flow and experience more joy and more wonder on a daily basis? What if there's a way to connect what we want to do in this life with what the divine, the universe, the intelligence and wisdom of the universe wants for us to do? You know, so you don't have to ask, am I doing the right thing? You know you're doing the right thing for yourself. I'm not talking about a moral right and wrong. I'm talking about the right thing for us to experience. You know, we just moved from California. We took the opportunity in the middle of this pandemic to sell our house in California and to move to Michigan to be close to my wife's family and to take advantage of a new normal, which is that it doesn't really matter where you live anymore. Nobody really cares where you live in terms of doing, well, especially for Sharon and I. You know, she's a psychotherapist doing her entire practice online, and I'm doing ministry from home and also, you know, doing my producing career, music producing, video producing, audio producing from home, as I've been doing for 35 years. You know, what if there's a way to know that we're doing the right thing? What if there's a way to not get stuck in ruminating on the past and not, you know, be in fear of what's coming? What if we could stop trying to force square pegs into circular holes and be ready to be who we came here to be? Do you think that's possible? Well, I can tell you, we can. We can do that. And we can start that today. The time is now. All this month in January, we're talking about the beginning of a new cycle in our lives. I called it Start Your Engines, as we're going to travel down this highway of life. Start your engines. And this week, we're talking about this is the time. The time is now. But there's an interesting thing about now. If we really want to be who we came here to be, we have to stop focusing on the past. And if we really want to be who we came here to be, we have to stop worrying and thinking about the future. Because as this graphic says, there's no exit in the future. There's just that fear of what is coming can be pervasive. Because the truth is, we can only have the freedom to become who we came here to be in the now. Because everything happens in the now. There is no other moment. Dr. Holmes, the founder of religious science, reminds us that all ideas are formed in the present, since there's neither past nor future to reality. The past is memories. The future has not happened. This month, we've also been talking about the idea of spiritual alchemy. The idea that we have the power to transform things for the better, real or imagined, by recognizing that the extraordinary is inherent within the ordinary. Being able to look at a situation, being able to look at something that's going on and say, I know there's something else. There's something better. There's something truer. There's something spiritual about what's happening right now. Because we can just simply take our life for granted and run on autopilot. I think sometimes we sleepwalk our way through some of the things that we're doing. But if we aren't stopping doing that, if we aren't present in the now, if we aren't focusing on what's going on right now, are we missing out on life itself? As I said last week, Eckhart Tolle reminds us that it's not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. Are you waiting to start living? But I know it's not always easy to pay attention to the present moment. You know, we talk about mindfulness, we talk about breathing, we talk about meditation and prayer, but regardless of the benefits that mindfully staying in the now have, we often really resist being in the now. I know I do. Sometimes we'll do anything to not be in the now. But the doing anything, the staying in the past, the fearing the future, can be so stressful.
All we need to know is, in order to live more consciously, in order not to live in opposition to what is in the present moment, which is to live more consciously, accept this moment as if you had chosen it. And that brings in a new consciousness.
And do not deny the moment. This is what I learned from you, that literally it eliminated all stress in my life. Resisting the moment that is only going to create more anxiety and more being more upset.
A lot of the unhappiness that people experience, they believe it's due to the conditions of what's happening at this moment. But in most cases, it's not the conditions or the situation that you're in that causes the unhappiness. It's the mind telling you something about this moment that causes the unhappiness.
Yes,
so there's
like
a
I should have been
commentary.
there, I should have been
Yes.
earlier, I shouldn't have stopped to do this, I should have done that. It's the mind.
Yes. I sometimes tell people, just don't believe what I say, just try it out in your own life. Next time you get upset in a certain situation, let's say you're at the airport, many people get upset at airports. You line up at the curling counter, it takes a long time, and you get more and more upset, and then you observe that what is it that causes me to be irritated, angry, upset? What is it, this situation? Or is it that my mind is telling me that this should not be happening? The ego is very good at misinterpreting reality, and it believes its stories. The ego comes up with stories, often not pleasant stories about the isness of things, and it's a source of great suffering. So once you recognize that, you can experiment in your own life when you feel upset arising, watch your mind.
Yes.
Be there, be aware of what your mind is doing. This is the most vital thing in spiritual life, is to be able to watch your mind, to be the observer of your mind, so that the mind is not controlling you.
And that is how you eliminate stress
Yes,
and suffering.
yes.
At the beginning of that clip, he said something that was so brilliant, because if we resist being in the present moment, because sometimes stuff that's going on in the present moment feels uncomfortable, he says that we should accept the present moment as if we chose it. How brilliant is that? To say, well, whatever's going on, I chose it, so I'm going to pay attention to it. Because we often focus on the past to get out of the present moment, remembering better times, remembering our childhood, remembering some time that we're escaping to, Or we start worrying about the future to also get out of being in the past, to also get out of being in the present. But being in the now can so reduce our stress, and doing what Eckhart says, choosing to accept the now moment as if we planned it, as if we chose it. Because when we're focusing on the past, we are living in regret usually. Not always, but there's a lot of time that we're stuck in a loop of regret. And when we're in the future, focusing on the future, we're focusing often on our fear of what is coming, dwelling in the future, something that has not yet happened. And I have to be honest with you. I'm a human being who's capable of a nuclear explosion of fear about something that's... I tell this story about how one time I came home on a Friday and I opened the mailbox, and my son Jesse had recently been at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles for a surgery, a kidney ureter surgery. And even though we were told that everything was covered, there might be a small copay, I got a bill from Children's Hospital for $85,000. And at the bottom of the bill, it said, your insurance has already been billed, and this is the amount you owe. I called my minister, James Mellon, at the time. He was absolutely positive. He said, this is a mistake. Now, of course, these things always come into your mailbox on Friday at 6 o'clock when you can't call any, because you call the office and they go, we're closed until Monday morning. But he said, this is a mistake. You will find that he did not have an emotional attachment to owing Children's Hospital $85,000. He just knew from the facts and the truth that this was a mistake. When we're in the future, like, how am I going to pay for this? Or when we're in the past, regretting I should have taken care of this in a different way, we are not in the present moment, and we cannot take advantage of the now. Because in the now, we get to celebrate, create, connect, live in harmony, have healing, live in grace. Mindfulness brings us into the only moment that there ever was, is, or will be, the eternal now. And in the now, we can experience that divine wisdom, that divine harmony and peace, and so many other of the affirmative attributes of life that are on this list right here. And if we aren't living in the present moment, can we really be living life to the fullest? Can we really be doing everything we need to be the I am, to recognize that I am the I am, as Laura sang? Can we really be taking the best care of ourselves, living in a past that only exists in our memory, or focusing on a future that has not happened? And as I've said before, that thing about being capable of a nuclear explosion of negative thinking, 99.999% of everything that I've ever been afraid of has not come to pass. And yet, how much time could I possibly spend being afraid of things which will ultimately never come to pass? My mom used to say, don't waste worry. You might need it someday. You might really need to worry about something someday. We talk about that idea that, fear. 100,000 years ago, when we went down to the watering hole and saber-toothed tiger was there, that's a legitimate reason to be afraid. Being afraid of an $85,000 bill from a hospital, life is too short to be worried about something like that, which not only never came to pass, but even if there was a reason that I got that bill and it was a legitimate bill of some kind, there's always a way. It's always unfolding for our highest good in some way that we do not yet know. But our thoughts can really trap us and take us out of the now and keep us stuck in that past or stuck in that future. But guess what? We are not our thoughts. But we have been conditioned to identify ourselves as our thoughts and the accompanying feelings and sensations. We've been conditioned to resist what we're experiencing in the now and try to make the experience different than what it really is. You know, we all have challenges in our life. And it's not the challenges themselves that trip us up. It's our resistance to experiencing those moments that have challenges in them and pulling ourselves either into the past or into the future, into regret or into fear. It's our resistance to experiencing those moments in the now that expand them into problems and create suffering for us. And when that happens, I know that most of us are reaching for the remote control to try and change the channel or fix things. But as Einstein told us, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created our problems. We cannot solve our problems with the same consciousness that created our problems. We have to stay in the now and be aware of our relationship to that creative power of the universe. And if we go with what Deepak Chopra defines the universe and God to be, that we understand that God is the evolutionary impulse of the universe. God is infinite creativity, infinite love, infinite compassion, infinite caring. And when we recognize that we too are part of this evolutionary impulse of the universe, you know, people ask me, what does God want for me? I got to tell you, if God has any conscious will for us at all, it can only be for its highest good and our highest good. Because God has been doing nothing but evolving itself and expanding itself for longer than the last 13.8 billion years since this universe has been, you know, since the Big Bang, this creation. This week, there was a huge, yesterday, there was a huge eruption of an undersea Tongan volcano. More of the play of life upon itself. You know, God is infinite creativity, infinite love, infinite compassion. It is the evolutionary impulse of the universe. It's the evolutionary impulse of this world. It is constantly changing. Nothing is static, and the only thing that's real is this moment. And the way that we relate to this moment is through our consciousness. We truly are consciousness. The universe is always declaring, I am you. You are me. We are one. I am you. You are me. We are one. We are that which is aware. We are that which is the observer, but we are also individualized, that which creates everything. And the way that we remember that is by staying in the now, and the way that we stay in the now is by using our affirmative prayer and meditation. And you know, whether it's a walking meditation, like I go out and walk every day, even here in Michigan where it's very cold, I got to get out and I put my long johns on and I take the dog and I go out and I walk. Yesterday I walked 4.9 miles in the cold. It was 15 degrees outside. But, you know, when I get out there and do it, I'm aware of the universe. I'm observing the universe. So rather than using our minds to control our life, we use our spiritual practice, we use our affirmative prayer to control our reactions to the conditions of our life, the conditions in our life. And when we can successfully do that, the conditions have a way of changing. That's the entire purpose of our spiritual mind treatment, is to change our relationship to what's going on in our life and to realize that the divine, God, intelligence, wisdom is unfolding it for our highest good at all times, and regardless of our human opinion about it. You know, this idea of spiritual alchemy that we talked about last week, this power to transform things for the better, real, or imagined, we can use our spiritual alchemy to embrace the now. Embrace the now. Zen teacher Charlotte Joko Beck said, joy is exactly what's happening minus our opinion of it. I love that. If you take your opinion out of any situation, joy is what's happening. Perfection is what's unfolding. Joy is exactly what's happening minus our opinion of it. And we always have the opportunity to turn toward our experiences and challenges without fear or regret, rather than try and distract ourselves from them or change them. Remember, staying in the now, being mindful, we may experience our challenges, but if we don't shy away from that momentary confrontation with whatever's challenging us by reaching for that remote control and trying to change the channel to the past or trying to change the channel to the future, rather, if we don't distract ourselves from them or change them, we can do what Wayne Dyer says. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that can only happen in the now. That does not happen in the past. That does not happen in the future. So this week, our call to action is this. Let's do our best to honor the present moment with all of its inherent conditions of happiness, unhappiness, challenges. Let's do what Eckhart Tolle said. Let's pretend that we've chosen this moment, and it's exactly what we chose. Let's pretend that no matter what's happening, the inherent conditions of happiness, unhappiness, challenges, that's what we chose, and we're committed to experiencing it without shying away from it, without going into the past, without going into the future. Let's just do our best to remember that everything that's happening is that evolutionary impulse, and we are part of it. And why are we part of it? Because we know that God in each of us, as each of us, is each of us. That's the truth of our life. God in each of us, as each of us, is each of us. And the present moment is the unfolding of the divine, is our highest good happening now. That's what it is. It's our highest good happening now. Man, if you could just say, this is my highest good happening now, and take your opinion out of it, I love it. I want to go back to that quote from Charlotte, where she says, joy is exactly what's happening minus our opinion of it. Joy is exactly what's happening minus our opinion of it. Because God in each of us, as each of us, is each of us. And our perfect life is unfolding now, regardless of our human opinion about it. Right? I have a backronym for us this week. It's very short and simple. It's now. Our nature is oneness and wonder. I love that movie, That Thing You Do, where the name of the band was The Wonders. At first it was the O-N-E, Wonders, and then later they realized that didn't work, so they became the W-O-N, Wonders, right? But our nature is oneness and wonder. Our nature is oneness and wonder. And our affirmation for this week is, I am here and conscious right now. I am here and conscious right now. And, Dr. Holmes reminds us that our experience here on planet Earth is always perfect God, perfect human, perfect being. This is our life. Perfect God, expressing as perfect human, we are perfect being. We are being perfect. We are unfolding our life perfectly. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. Someone said to me, why are you continuing to do this? This is my spiritual practice. I love teaching. I love exploring. I love working through prayer and meditation and my weekly message to stay centered in the truth. And if you're enjoying what I'm doing, then, and hopefully we're going to, when we get through the COVID pandemic, we're going to have a physical center here. But I'm going to continue to stream live no matter what, forever, because there are so many people that I love and I want to be able to teach all over. So I'm never going to stop doing this live streaming thing. But if you're enjoying what I'm doing, you can contribute to the Motor City Spiritual Center. You can go at Venmo. Our handle there is at Motor City, one word, hyphen, Spiritual Center, or you can just put your camera up to the screen and use the scanner in Venmo at Motor City Spiritual Center. The first time you do it, they might ask you for the phone number, which is 442-999-7292. If you're more comfortable with PayPal, the PayPal address is motorcityspiritualcenter@gmail.com. Also, the telephone number is 442-999-7292. Our giving affirmation, it's the one that I've used for my entire ministry, which is divine love consecrates my gift and it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. I'm gonna sing Karen Drucker's "I'm So Blessed" because I love that song, and then I'm gonna sing my song "All Is Well." So here we go. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. 'Cause I know Spirit blesses and protects you. And I know Spirit's kind and gracious to you. And as you and I know Spirit shines its light upon you. And is your peace. 'Cause all is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. Oh, a whole bunch of people are talking to me on the chat this morning. Susie Clark. I miss you too, Susie. Dawn Simmons. Thank you, Dawn. So nice to see you here too. Betty Strodes is here. Monica's here. Reverend Donna's here. Laurie S. is here. Thank you all for joining me today. Let's do our best this week to just stay in the now. And no matter what comes up, let's do our best to pretend that we chose it and not let our human opinion decide what should or should not be happening. Let's stay out of fear. Let's stay out of the regret of the past and just live in the now. Have a great week, everybody. Peace and blessings. I love you. I'll see you soon.
I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I am loving every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and kings. Whoa. Take a deep